Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Mike Vilardi Show. I'm excited to welcome to the program Mike Vilardi. And Mike, we have an amazing celebrity with us. Mike, who do we have?
Oh, my friend Billy McNamara. Billy, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So I've watched Billy's trailer because he told me he won't talk to me again until I do that. He says, do you have time for that? If he knew my schedule today, I literally went from appointments from, I guess, 11 a.m. all the way up till 6 p.m. today's appointments. So basically, I watched the trailer. I loved it. And the reason I loved it, it's funny.
You can shut down.
The cast is an all-star cast. And ultimately, Billy, this is a true story. This is where I'm getting, because you're going again to a UFO show soon. And is it true? Is this really a true story?
Well, it's based on a true story. Unfortunately, it is.
And it's you.
Yes.
And so okay. So this is where I have to get going. And YouTube, don't you ever try flagging me on this one. So basically, the story, as I saw in the trailers, basically, Billy McNamara was one of the biggest superstar actors, young actors, all over different places, and he disappeared because aliens took him. And he came back broke and tried to make his life come back in his life. Now, let's see how much of this is a true story. Because Mike, now this is where it's a little interesting.
Well, I mean, okay. So the part about being abducted, taken off planet is not necessarily. But
after all the UF disclosures of Trump, I thought maybe it is true.
Oh no! Well, there's a lot of truth to it. Yes, and it happened up in upstate New York in a little town called Salt Point, which is near like Millbrook, or it's actually near like where Vassar is, Poughkeepsie. It's like a 25-30 minute drive from Poughkeepsie, and it's all horse farms out there, and so I wasn't necessarily abducted, even though I tried, but I did have contact with multiple craft. And one that was flying very low that I chased for about 45 minutes. It finally flying very low, 40, 50 feet off the ground, no sound. It just hovers. It was just incredible. It was a triangle, shaped like a triangle, no propulsion, no sound. So it's like, how is this thing moving with no propulsion? There's no visible engines or anything on it. I mean, it just defied gravity. And it was half technical craft, the undercarriage. The overcarriage was a reptilian, like a crocodilian bee. Yeah.
When did this take place?
Wow.
This took place, I'm trying to remember, probably way back in like 2004, 2005. And the reptilian being was not in Salt Point. That was in a little town, also a small town, called Harriman, New York. Of course, Harriman is that famous family, the founders of America. But it's a little town called Harriman, New York, and so it was real contact, and it happened twice in Harriman.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Mike, did you know that part of the story?
No, I that's news to me. That's the first time.
Because I heard, I don't know where I got it from. I think you said it to me yesterday about when you said you're going on George Norrie's show. I knew it. I said that this is, and he said this is a real story. I'm like, my mouth dropped. I'm like, whoa, what just happened here? And then so we kind of had this conversation further after that. I watched the trailer and I'm like, it's so funny. And it reminds me of another movie that came out that has some pretty good stars in it that's on Amazon. Did you see that show, Billy?
What's it called?
Oh my gosh. Well, in a way, it's more because the pretty big celebrities are in it. I'll have to remember the name of it, but it's basically where they even had a major celebrity in it. It'll come to me what the show is, but it was hilarious. Okay. But it reminded me of it. So you'll have to go check Amazon. Yeah. Oh yeah, because you don't watch television. So you talked about that. So okay.
Yeah, I don't watch television, but I do have my laptop, so I can check out Netflix.
Yeah, it's Amazon. It's Amazon. I'm gonna figure out what movie it was in Amazon.
Yeah, you gotta tell me. So I'm constantly recreating stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Billy, is Harriman known for that alien contact?
No, it's not. And the reason why I was there, it's very interesting. I was at that time very big into into like yoga and meditation. And there's a beautiful ashram there. The guru has passed away years ago, but they keep the ashram alive and going. I think it's still
Right.
there. I don't know. It's called Ananda. And it's just they got the kirtan, which is devotional singing, and the yoga and the Vedic astrology and Ayurvedic medicine. So it was like that was my speed back then. It was into all that stuff. Krishna Das, who's a famous kirtan wala, he would perform there all the time.
Okay, so this is the movie. 2026 alien invasion comedy movie, Operation Taco Gary, which follows the two estranged brothers on a chaotic road trip after discovering a cosmic conspiracy hidden inside a fast food joint. It stars Simon Rex, Dustin Milligan, Brenda Song, and also has the big star in it. It reminds me a bit of yours, FYI.
I'm going to watch that. Hold on. I'm going to watch that immediately. And hold on. Can you please say the name again, please?
Operation Taco Gary.
Taco Gary. Okay. Gary. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And they had one celebrity in it too. That's why, who had it being the biggest villain in it, the one from American Pie.
Oh, wow. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it just reminded me a little bit of the comedy side of it. Your all-star cast it's a little different, but you're watching if people are trying to steal some of your stuff, right?
What do you mean?
Like your ideas or anything? Like
I doubt. Mine is a TV series. I have 10 episodes, and I'm doing season 2. So I don't think people. Although I will say that I did see one of my stories that's not in the Trouble with Billy, but I did see one of my stories. I can't tell it on here, but I did see it in a movie with Al Pacino, and there's no way anybody would. It's a long story, but yeah, so I have had stuff stolen. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Just wanted to know. It's no big deal. But you got to check those out. It's just red hot now, right now. And why is it? Because there are UFOs and there are aliens, and you and I believe that. Mike, you don't believe that, do you?
Well, it's not that I don't believe it. I think they're demon spirits. I mean, God created all things. I mean, the book of Enoch talks about how the Watchers were sent down and they got corrupted, and the Nephilim and all these different things. I mean, I do believe God created all things. So whatever's here has to be created by God.
Got it. And so that's where this whole disclosure thing, Billy, really made it crazy, right? When they released some of this stuff. And more of it's coming out more and more now. After the first release was ridiculous, then you see signs of showing a literal alien here.
Well, the thing is, back in 2003, 2004, when I was witnessing this, I couldn't tell anybody because I'm an ex-drug addict. I'm sober now, 21 years. So, but back then I couldn't talk about this to anybody because I was visiting my mom every weekend. She had the house in Salt Point, horse farm, and so I couldn't tell her. So she was suspicious because I was out all night driving around. There's nothing to do out there. There's no bars. There's no clubs. This is out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And I'm driving around from about 8 p.m. till about 5 in the morning every night. So she didn't know what was going on. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Just driving around." I couldn't tell anybody because back then you're crazy. Now, today, that's why I'm telling the stories today, the stuff I did and the stuff I saw, because it's all been proven. So I'm no longer a wacko. I'm no longer like hallucinating on drugs. I'm just part of the, part of the zeitgeist right now. So I'm a part of it. So now I'm telling the stories, but I couldn't tell that stuff. I couldn't talk about it because of my issues with drug addiction in the 90s. So I couldn't.
So you said reptilian. So you saw this.
Yes.
Give us a description or a detail. How close were you? How did it?
It was like when I first saw it, it was 40 feet off the ground. I was leaving Ananda at about midnight. Ananda is that ashram I told you about. Right. And I was exiting the driveway of Ananda. It's a long, beautiful drive. It's a beautiful ashram. It's a lot of property. They have a little mini lake or pond, I guess, on the property, which is really nice. And I was leaving. And like I said, these areas in upstate New York, everybody goes to bed at 8. When the sun goes down, people go to bed because they get up at 4:30 to tend their horses. It's a whole different lifestyle. It's a whole different world. So at midnight, there's literally nobody around, and there's no police. These towns are so small, they don't have police at all. They might have a tiny post office, and that's it. Maybe a gas station, but that's it. There's nothing. But it's all these towns are off the Taconic Parkway. So if you have a problem, you call the state police, and the state police can be there in 15 minutes. They just zoom up the Taconic, take the exit, and there they are. So that's your police. They're never out driving around on their own in those towns. They're on the Taconic. So anyway, so I was driving out, and right across the street is the public school of this little town. And the main building, they're all single-story buildings, and the main building, there was just this giant shaped like a triangle, or more like a manta ray, that animal that swims in the ocean. So it's more shaped like a manta ray. And the bottom of the hull of the craft was black, and it's the kind of black. It's that weird dull black, like the stealth fighters are.
Yes,
so
right. Okay.
So it did look, the undercarriage and all the other ones that I did see, they seem to have that same stealth type body, and the stealth fighters of that matte black, or whatever that black is, it doesn't reflect anything. And so but the top was a little bit of a craft, but that craft came to a point where you think it looked like it could be a turret, but it wasn't a turret. It was a head. It was a crocodilian. It had no snout, so it's not a crocodile with a snout, but the leathery, thick skin, and it draped over as if it was a turret. But when it turned to look at me, it didn't turn like a turret. It turned the way you turn, like that, and you saw the skin crinkle up when it turned.
Wow.
So, and it turned and looked right at me. And when it saw me, looked over its shoulder. And when it saw me, it started to slowly move away. And I followed it. And it wasn't going fast, making no sound whatsoever.
Wow.
Now,
So,
how big would you estimate that creature was?
probably the size of an 18-wheeler truck. So this is a smaller craft. The other craft that I was seeing in the Hudson Valley were very large. And I do have a video of that I've sent to, that I sent to they have it on Beyond Belief.
Oh, that's how you got on the show.
Well, no, they actually didn't even. I said, "Oh, do you guys want a video?" They're like, "Oh, you have a video?" They already invited me on the show.
He's Billy McNamara. Come on now.
Right.
Yeah, they already invited me on the show, but I said, "Oh, I happen to have a video that Bruce Cornett shot." Bruce Cornett's a very well-known ufologist. He's older now, so he's not very active, but he's I invited him up there because I called him. I started doing all this research online, and the guy that was involved, because there were these flying triangles in the 90s in Hudson Valley. So I called a friend of mine who's a big ufologist. I said, "Hey, I'm seeing these strange things flying around the skies above my mom's house."
Right.
And he said, "What are they?" I said, "They're like giant triangles or manta rays." He goes, "Oh, just Google Hudson Valley triangles and you'll see." Comes right up. So I tracked this guy down. I invited him to stay at my mom's house. He came out, and I took him out to where the viewing spot was. I said, "Well, wait here." He didn't believe me, by the way. And he was super shocked when this thing appeared.
Wow.
And he filmed it. But remember, it's 2003. It's a crappy camera. It's pitch dark. But he analyzed it. Well, he did a whole analysis on the sounds, on the way it moved and everything. So the analysis, because he's a scientist, he's actually a PhD. He's a teacher, was a teacher at a college in New Jersey, and he's a geology professor.
Well, you know what's so funny is one of the things, and I put it in my book, is that UFOs are going to become prominent right before the rapture. It's going to be Satan's way of deceiving people, that all the bad people were taken, right, for the rapture. And only the ones left behind are the ones that are truly good, who come into the unity religion and worship and serve the Antichrist. So it's interesting. It's just so fitting in with the times today. You know what I'm saying? And we're seeing it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because we're living it. We're living it. We're right there. We're living it. We're watching Muslims get elected to elected office. I mean, look what happened in Michigan.
Okay,
Just as an
okay. So
example.
we're not going to politics. No, not
Yeah,
this one.
but,
Not, not, not. Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, back to Billy. So Billy, you wanted to get in front of me, and then you did get in front of me later, but Mike booked you anyways to be in front of me. What questions do you have as we continue this deal making thing? He is going to be a spokesperson. I mean, he's going to be on the panel at the Radiate Film Festival, and
Yep.
I will be interviewing him
Oh,
in
fantastic.
LA. So I'll be the one running the panel. I've not decided how I'm matching different people in the panel. I don't want two rock stars together at the same time because then, because there's going to be like three different 30-minute segments. I don't know how they're wanting it, but we'll figure it out. So what questions do you have for me?
Well, not too many questions. I mean, I'll discover, I'll figure stuff out during the festival. I'm kind of excited for that, and I do have a lot of experience in at least in the independent film and television world, and I have a lot of good wisdom and knowledge that I can impart to people that I've learned from
Right.
just. The trouble with Billy has taken 10 years to make, and it was originally a movie that got that was turned
Right.
into a series. So I've done it all, man, and it's
Did your
it's
life start to go downhill after you saw the aliens? Your acting career? Is that part of the story?
That could be. I never really analyzed, but it's funny you asked that because what happened is I did get sucked into it for 2 years. I've spent in upstate New York doing nothing but chasing these things. So, so that, but I went to New York City because I was supposed to be a new character on Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. But the actor, Chris Maloney, didn't like me, so I got let go. I almost had a series. It would have been great. But I was in New
So
York
tell me the
City.
story why he didn't like you.
He's a very difficult person to get along with, and
Hmm.
and so I got let go. They paid me for the 6 episodes, but he apparently, it's a long story, but apparently he and Mariska don't get along or didn't get along back then. So they were trying to find both of them new partners. I think she got a new partner. He was a guy, nice guy. I think she ended up. I don't watch the show, so I'm not going to say anything. But and then Chris Maloney, they kept trying to find a new partner for him. It had to be a male because he's very, you know, not crude, but he's very, just a tough guy to work with. And so they tried. I think they tried another guy, for sure, another guy, possibly two more guys, and nobody lasted. So it's not personal. He just doesn't want anybody else on set but him.
Wow.
As a star, stars are that way. It's
Why are they
crazy.
that way?
That's a great question, and that's something I've learned. The 35 years I've been doing this. A lot of these people that other people look up to, where they think there's these
right.
gods. They're really horrible people. They're just
Yes, you're right.
uneducated, devoid of critical thinking, just and just very bitter and angry and competitive, and Hollywood is a dark spot, to say the least.
I mean, it's so true. I mean, like I know you and Costas and Brendan, and you guys are all down to earth, just great people. I mean, no hands down. But I met like Joe Pesci, and what a disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean,
It all depends on the person, Mike. It's really truly that most of the celebrities I've interviewed in my career, so I've interviewed about thousands of them in my career, from athletes to the
yeah,
ones with the biggest egos you wouldn't that were comedians. That's all I'm gonna say. That were jerks. And you go look on my list, and there's one that says two words, and he's known for it all the time, blank or blank. And he was one of the most difficult interviews. Somebody else was from not the Law and Order series. Yes, the Law and Order series. Biggest jerk.
yeah.
Now, if you go search when I interviewed that person, you would know. And then one Billy, who's one of the greatest people, but it was such a difficult interview because of what he was going through in alcohol that was on your show. But he wasn't a bad interview. He just really was going through a lot before he died. That's
Oh
it's
yeah,
fun.
Tom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had
Tom's a
him
very
on.
good He's a very good friend of mine, Tom Sizemore. Yeah, he's such a good human. So it's too bad because he is, I mean, as far as acting goes and performance, he is one of the greats. He's right up there with Pacino and Sean Penn. He's at that level, and De Niro, and they all brought him in because they knew that he was part of that small club. They
Mm.
let him in that small club because he was an equal to them. He is a masterful actor, just unreal. No ego, no
Mm.
ego.
So and
Humble,
so
talks to
was it
anybody.
alcoholism that died? Did he die because of alcoholism or something else?
I think it was more drugs. I don't think he drank
Mm.
that much. I think he was into a lot of drugs.
Mm.
And drugs can
Mm.
yeah, you just can't do drugs forever. You got to stop, and he didn't want to
You've
stop.
you've shot season 2, right?
We have not. We're
Okay,
preparing to
so
shoot.
so what? But who will end up being on season 2? All the same people coming back.
A lot of the same people for sure. Costas, Billy Baldwin, Angus McFadden. Let me think who else. Randall, of course, Randall Battenkoff, of course.
Mm.
But we're going to try to add a lot of really cool people. I'm hoping that like Dermot Mulrooney will do a cameo. I'm hoping Kevin Dillon will. I'm hoping Isai Morales, but he's become such a huge star again that might be beneath him. I don't know.
Speaking about you, sir, how was it to work with Sigourney Weaver?
Oh, well, she's a consummate professional. I mean, she's all
Yeah.
about the work. I mean, there's no attitude there. There's no ego. Sigourney's the real deal. I mean, she's
Yeah.
a brilliant actress, obviously,
Mhm.
but again, like Tom Sizemore, she treats everybody the same and she's so respectful of everybody. Yeah, sometimes I guess these super talented people, they don't have any insecurities, which is that's why they can treat the little guys like me well.
Right, right.
You're no little guy, and so basically watch The Trouble with Billy. So we can watch season 1 right now, right? At Red Coral.
Correct. On Red Coral.
And is there a cost to watching it?
No, it's free. It's supported by
Is
its ad
that's
revenue.
that's what I wanted to. I'm bringing that up, Billy, because all you gotta do is sign up with Red Coral. Like I said, I did it, and you definitely gotta go check it out. Check out the series, and you have reviews and stuff that you can review the series.
Well, we have a Rotten Tomatoes placement page, and we're waiting for it to activate. We're gonna get. We were contacted by a reviewer, Meredith. I think her name is Meredith Brown. I think she'll be our first major Rotten Tomato review, but she's not going to be able to get it done until the end of August. So
I'll
we'll
do I'll
start
do a
getting.
review too.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
That,
yeah, 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 yeah. And we'll definitely talk about how we can get this show because I already can tell it reminds me of the taco one I talked about, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this
yes,
looks hilarious, absolutely
yes.
hilarious, great series." Season 2, waiting to shoot. The big thing
Yes.
is, when do you think that you're shooting for that? When are you shooting for that?
Unfortunately, not until March. Because the winter time. It's a long story, but I mean, it looks like March. But if I can get it done sooner, then we'll do it sooner. It depends. It also depends where I shoot it. If I can stay in LA, I can do it sooner. But the problem is the cash rebates that the investors want are not in California.
And
They're in upstate
also they got rid of that section tax code thing for this next
181.
shooting. Yep,
Yeah, I
because
know.
my client Michael August is one of the best 181 guys with setting those things up. Yeah, I got
Oh,
connections everywhere. Okay, so you're like, whoa, but we got to tell all our politicians to go ahead and renew that. That's so
right.
important for the film
Right.
industry is Section 181, and they are able to go backwards. So if you started a film in
Right.
2025, 2024, 2023, or a series, you can get taxes back there, but they're
Retroactive.
not. But what's happening is that what's the latest news on 181?
I don't know. I want to talk to your friend. I'd love to
Okay.
talk to him. You should talk to him and stay in contact. They need to renew that or do something similar. I mean, Trump said that he was going to do the tariffs on movies. It was like, well, that's a stupid idea. Just do
They are
181.
they
Let
are they
them.
already have a way to do movies, so I'll let you talk to them again for that. That's involving equipment. So, or
Okay.
another way they're trying to work it. So there's an
Okay.
opportunity still happening.
Okay.
But again, I don't know. I have not. Again, we're not in the big tax season. Tax season begins in 2 months, and look out, right, Mike? It's going to be yeah. Tax season starts soon. All right. So best place to go is redcoral.com. and
No,
go
Red Coral. I think is it Red? I think it's
redcoraluniverse.com.
reduniverse.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, look, how did
Or
I
if you
remember
can't
that?
remember that, just go to thetroublewithbilly.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thetroublewithbilly.com has the link to Red Coral, and just download the app. It's
All
free.
right.
You can watch it on all your smart TVs. You can watch it on Apple, Amazon, and well, the other one, Amazon, Apple, and
And go,
Roku.
and go to MikeVilardi.com. Show your book, Mike.
Yeah, we got the book.
We don't ever get on YouTube with Mike Vilardi live, but we are today because he's not talked any conspiracy. Oh,
Right.
but I won't get in trouble with UFO conspiracy, but it's true. It's true. And go make sure also you show love to the Radiate Film Festival. That's RAYD8.tv. And if you are a filmmaker and want to meet Billy at the film festival, just check it out. And you're going to invite some friends to come along with you, right? Because I have other panel opportunities. I definitely your co-host, who's your partner. We would love to have him there too. I have the ability to schedule the panel in LA. So if you're out in LA and you're a filmmaker or anything, you're looking for a great conversation, we'll do that. Okay. So that was the special Mike Vilardi Show with the Neil Haley Show. Guys, take care. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and AI Office Hours with Pat Riley and Neil Haley. And thank you again for the people that are tuning in. It was a kind of like a fun kind of start out. We just said, let's talk AI. Pat and I, we just made it a show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. When it is a podcast to like and subscribe, we'll have some promo codes and things like that nature to see people. Because again, thank you to some of the comments I'm getting on the Neil Haley Show regarding this, how I'm really speaking the truth about AI. And I'm with Pat Riley. Pat, you're going to update us first. I'm telling you, I have one person running me through and it's AI running me through an absolute drill sergeant week. And I'll explain. But I wanted to kind of hear what your updates with AI this week are.
Yeah, definitely. So when you have something working really well, don't change it. When you go, hey, you know what, it's working really well, and then let's say you don't have a regular recurring subscription, because I had Kimmy K running just as my heartbeat, and that's what Rich was running off of. The issue was that it ran out of credits. It was only like $10. And I was like, that's fine. I'll just switch it over to something else. So like I said, just um, go to Claude. And once you're on Claude, we're just going to go Haiku, which is the cheapest. Well, he didn't switch it to Haiku. I think he switched it. He just kept it at Sonnet. And then in like one day, just with the heartbeat and stuff, it ran down to ran $20 through. I was like, you're kidding me. So you got to stay on top of that. That's one thing I kind of learned the hard way. And basically, I just shut it down. I said, listen, don't spend money like that. And he's like, okay. So he made the adjustments. But I think I'm going to go back to Kimmy K because that worked out pretty well. I liked how that was. I wasn't spending a lot of money. And so I just had that one little mess up, but not a big deal. But the other thing I found that was pretty interesting, because I get articles here and there, and I just wanted to tell you a cool little story about AI agents. And it sounds like this one guy, he went overseas, and right before he left, his cat got out and he couldn't find it. So he's kind of heartbroken, like, my gosh, did a coyote get it? Did a bobcat get it? And that's kind of the thought around here in Colorado. If your dog or cat gets out, at night, it might not come back unless it's really assertive and it can protect itself. So the local humane society lists out animals that were returned to them that could be lost. And he didn't have it shipped or anything like that. So it was really on him to kind of research. And he would look at the website, but what he did was he scheduled his AI agent to make updates, to keep checking in. So after a couple days, his AI agent contacted him and said, we have a potential hit. Check out this listing. Gave him the listing. He checked it out. Sure enough, it was his cat. He called, said, hey, I'm abroad right now. I'll be back next week. Just keep the cat. I'll be back and I'll pick him up. But I think that's a great little use case, is just let your agent check the website instead of you just keep checking it and making sure your cat was returned.
See, checking the website. So it did a search and kept going to the website. So it was an open claw type thing.
Yeah. And it took a picture of what the cat looked like and all the other information that the owner gave it, like the name and information like that. So granted, if you find a cat, you might not have the name. It's like, oh, I found this cat on this date in this town. That's all you get. You might get a male cat, female cat, and then a picture and a description. So the AI bot was going through and it was looking for that information and it found the cat.
See, that's interesting. I find that interesting, the types of things. And I can ultimately see the same thing delivering. So before I go to my whole experiment of Claude taking over my life with one agent slash assistant to the point where I'm just absolutely blown away at what's happening, except it is an exhausting experience. I've been through the drill sergeant mode. I want to see if there's anything else you have to report with AI before I go.
Oh, nothing else just now. I mean,
I'm going to get your feedback on every one of these comments.
Yeah.
Let's just go. Let's just hear.
Let's go with it.
So my anti-AI mode where I thought AI can't do everything. I think it's just, I have some secret power that I can control AI through my brain, and anything I touch in AI turns into cold. Okay, so my agents with Marbleism are doing better this week. I did some research. They've been updating some things. They are booking appointments. They are getting people that are interested in it for NHL wraparound for sponsorship. They are continuing to get books to other people. The biggest challenge is, how do you manage your agents? I think that's the biggest challenge in so many ways. And I want to get Pat's feedback on this, because I think that once you build your agents out enough, you're going to have a human in the loop. That human's going to have to manage. That human's just going to have to just see what's happening. But the productivity level is unbelievable. It's just, you got to touch it. And if you don't have the time to manage agents, you're burning fire. One of them is one of my agents made $1.25 for a client off one post because they're monetized. The problem was, it wasn't their book cover.
Oh no.
I get an email. It was like faked book cover. It's still the book. It still promoted the book. It had the link. Wrong cover.
It created its own book cover
and it did really well. So it really knew the audience, right?
Yeah.
So I get an email today, and I was like, oh, maybe she won't spot this. So she did. So I get an email. I'm like, okay, I replaced it. It just didn't. It went hallucinated. But it made $1. I'm going to go and say it made you $1.24, probably more than selling books. And it was off of one post. So that's one real good thing, except the problem that if you're not a good manager, you're screwed with AI. If you're going to not be a prompt engineer, if you're going to allow the loops to happen. Okay. That's one experience, but I want to get your feedback on that.
Yeah. And that's true. And that goes back to my first reference of not updating the correct LLM for my agent, because it got to the point where I was like, you know what, that's fine. Just change to this. And it bit me because I didn't double check it. I didn't check in with it, because you could just set it up with, once it gets to a certain limit, add so much money. And of course, Claude with their API calls, they're like, if you get to $100, add another $100. And I was like, whoa. No, we're not doing this. I'm not adding that much. I put in like $20. And if I get down to 50 cents, add $20. But of course, Claude's like, I don't like that. I want to charge you more. So Kimmy K, same thing. Set a limit. When it gets below a certain point, we'll go and recharge it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to take the responsibility. I'm going to check it. And that's where my little bit failed. So, but you have to manage these things, because if you don't, it's just going to say, oh, I'm a low. I'm going to charge $500. You don't want to just charge $500. Yeah. So.
I have another nightmare. I text to Marbleism team. I say, stop campaign.
Yeah.
I said, it's time to stop the campaign. It responds back and keeps the campaign going. I thought it was shut down campaign now. It used to work that prompt. Well, they updated the system. There's an area that shuts it off and the agent doesn't listen. So I'm talking to someone from my team, one of my clients' teams, and I gave her the marching orders to start doing that. And she's like, LinkedIn just shut me down. I said, why? There's no, you didn't get through all those. And I go back and check, and it was doing the work. So that's why people are afraid for AI to go ballistic. Is it really is a freaking child. Go ahead, Pat.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's so true because you have to tell it specifically what to do. I had chronological jobs that ran out every day, and I had to restrict it to say, stop telling me about, stuff that happened last week or last month. Just do it within the last 48 hours. And then it just got repetitive and it was fine. But I did just finally say, you know what, just stop. Just stop giving me the chronological job because it was a lot of repeat information like, oh, new business ideas. Oh, do this. I said, you keep telling me the same business idea. Stop telling me about the same business idea. Give me something new. So, um, yeah, you really have to be on your agents because if not, it's just going to get stale. And I think I'm seeing a lot more of that is that data can get stale. So you have to kind of refresh it. Just like within a pool, you got to cycle the water through it. Some stuff's going to evaporate, put new water in it. Just have to keep filling it up.
See, I don't like that whole managing thing. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I, but okay. So that's another thing. Then there's other stories of, I mean, Pat, some of the posts that AI created with submarines has done really well. We have got to get back to doing more of them. That means
Yeah,
that your great rich needs to start writing them. Uh,
yeah.
Now, one of my clients is getting 30, 40,000 on static posts every time views. And it's
Hmm.
just from AI. So Marbleism did a great job there. And also it's been able to schedule some appointments, books, all that stuff. So I'll give it a very big plus and say, okay, without it, I would it probably saves me another 3 to 4 hours a week or more. So that's one thing. And if the more I can figure that out and come up with more planning and work with that agent on a regular basis, and the more they develop it, it's pretty good. I'm talking to another company that says that these things way more better, and they're going to let me white label it. So we will find out. As I had a really good call with them this week, but
Mhm.
here's a shout out to him. I gave him my number, said, text me. I'll send you my Calendly. Never texted me. Now I understand people. He wants to do this because it's business for him. Some people just don't fall. I'm going to follow up. The fruit's in the follow up. Okay. So that's that take on those areas. Now let's go to my automations. The agent thing's going well with the Loop with Spark. It really plans every one of my appointments. Let's pull up what the prep was for Pat Riley from AI. Let's go read this for us. So I have an agent in a Loop that goes through my calendar, researches everything on my Google Calendar and my Google Drive, and gives a relevant update on the client before a call. So whatever notes, whatever things, soon things are going to go unbelievably well on that end because of what I'm doing with Claude. And I'm going to explain everything to you guys, and you'll think this is the most crazy thing in the world. I made a promise to one of my clients that would never put AI on the air except for his show. And that's how the kind of good guy I am. So I'm not going to do it. I will read saying you're on the air right now. Can you tell me exactly? And I'll read what Claude says just so you guys can see how crazy I am. Because that's the thing. I am a scientist, a mad scientist when it comes to AI. I don't have any code skills. I'm not Pat. I could care less about code skills. I'm a mad scientist that feels like I can take over the world with AI. But let me, I was going to give you the update from Google Docs. So here's the update for appointments for Google Thoughts for Pat Riley, because people know Pat. Let's read it. This is the briefing that was sent today via my agent. The following information is extracted from the most recent project documentation, prioritized immediate objectives and deliverables for Patrick Riley. Content. The document highlights Patrick Riley's episodes centered on AI innovation, tech entrepreneurship, and productivity. Media presence. Scheduled guest appearances include The Neil Haley Show and Storehouse Media Group podcast. Featured topics. Discussion will focus on cutting-edge AI tools, AI-driven productivity, and landscape of tech entrepreneurship. Action items. Complete the guest appearances for the Neil Hayes Show and Storehouse Media Group podcast. Content clipping. Process interview recordings into high converted social clips. Multi-platform distribution. Repurposes the interview highlights into social reels and YouTube shorts. Media distribution, and it talks about the interview. Here's the historical context that came. Patrick Riley is a recurring guest on the Neil Haley Show. He is recognized as a consistent AI innovator and entrepreneur, contributing ongoing insights to the platforms regarding the evolution of technology and its practical applications for productivity. So it takes a meeting. All the information from my calendar goes to Google, goes to my Gmail account, scans that, scans documents, puts something together historical.
Mhm.
Pretty good. That just lays it out exactly, doesn't it?
Yeah, but one thing I don't know if you do this or not, but in your Google Docs, you take the transcripts from Zoom and put them in there
Yeah.
where it takes all that. Okay, so
It's
I think it needs to be more specific because
no
yeah, it was very high level, I thought,
no
but
this
yeah, it needs.
that's what an overview is supposed to be at high level. They do a meeting
Mhm.
briefing for every one of my calls.
Okay.
So it just kind of gives me a quick overview. I have a deep one, a deep dive, and you're about to see the deep dive. And when you see
Okay.
this is
Yeah.
what's a shock. But I like your point. I'm
Yeah.
not happy with that completely. And that's
Mhm.
why Google Claude beat your ass. That's all I have to say. So here we go. I'm going to go talk to Claude without saying, because I made a promise to my client. So Claude has become my fractional CFO, CEO, and also executive assistant and business coach. So let me go to it. That was not that. Is this it? Okay. All right. I'm going to put, hey, Claude, give me a list. Give me the prompt. You will give your next the person once I down give me the prompt for the next Claude once this chat ends. And then I'm going to give you the rest of the chat ends. Complete detail for a live podcast we're on. I've almost burned it out to the complete detail for the podcast we are on live. Now, it understands my language. So, okay. I'm only using Opus 4.0. I'm not using, even though I've been using Fable 5. It's freaking awesome. Eric
Mhm.
Sue, you are full of shit when it comes to saying that ChatGPT is better than Claude. Hell no. All right. No, 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 no. That's not what I wanted. No. The prompt for the big zip file. See, it doesn't listen when I want it to. It's gonna, okay. Let's see if it does it right. Oh, that's the big one. Okay. Okay. Copy and paste this. Here it is. Ready? Okay. Media Giant pasted the following new chat with zip all the working documents attached standing board. Before you touch anything, here's the rule minute -1. Read this entire prompt first, word for word. Before you touch any attached file, read this prompt completely and slowly, every line. Do not skim. Pass failure. The agent skimmed both the prompt and the file, so it missed directives and got numbers wrong. Only after they fully read this prompt do you proceed to rule 0. Rule 0. Read everything first, then prove it. Do this before anything else. Before you answer a single question or do any work, read every attached file completely, every row of the spreadsheet, every line of every doc. Do not skim. Do not start working off of partial reads. This is the past failure. Skimming, then getting client count rates, numbers wrong, hours. Then report back to confirm and observed. Exact client list count, not saying what it is. Annual book revenue, MMR. Top 5 clients by revenue. Any client whose blank is clear or looks wrong. If you cannot recite the above from files, you're not ready to work. If you ever feel low on context, compacted mid-session, say, so immediately do not attempt spreadsheet number work, flag it for a fresh session. Who am I? Neil, solo media entrepreneur, Media Giant Productions, mentor or hire, blah, 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 blah. Honest mirror. Prime protective. I work 7 days a week by choice and enjoy it. Only rest, ask. And so it has all the different lanes and everything and putting all together. That's the first thing. Then I'll give you the end of day, but I want your take on it so far.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that because, I could just visualize telling, one of my workers, the actual people who report into me, I want you to go through every document, don't skim, to read everything, understand it, go through every line of the spreadsheet. I could just imagine telling them, and they just like, what? How long do you expect me to do this? I'll be back next month sometime with all the data that you have. So yeah, it's great to be able to tell the bot, this is what you need to do.
No,
And
but this is us coaching together. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
now tell me all the documents you have. And I should have just spoke to it where it wouldn't pick up on the radio
Mhm.
documents you have. See, that's the loyalty I have to one of my clients. I said, I'm never going to do another live. He doesn't do them anymore. ChatGPT shit the bed when it came to their voice.
Oh no.
It's, so I think Claude has the best conversational AI now. Smartest one.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
are 27 working documents grouped by what they do. This is what we do in our conversations. 27. Imagine telling me it's the financial strategy core, the CFL knowledge doc, which holds every locked business decision, the CF tractor spreadsheet with the roster of revenue, the time tracking log, which is your dollars per hour fine, the agent startup prompt that reboots a fresh Claude each morning, the daily engine, daily post list, in which both marked are in the spreadsheet form, the podcast list, the website list, the 4 dated project lists, August 4th through 7th, the growth and systems layer, the leaderboard plus a smaller separate leaderboard, the VAR partner chart, the referral out chart, the client fulfillment chart, the booker screening, and the automations doc, and much more. And it can do all this, Pat, and not forget a damn thing. That's what's
Yeah.
shocking.
Yep. Yep.
And you know what I
agree.
asked them?
I like it.
Is that crazy? So
Yeah.
basically everything, my whole business completely organized in 1 week. 2 weeks, it will be to the point where it'll be running like a engine. I ask, what's my next post? It tells me the next post, but it runs out of time and starts talking like this and lagging. Then you have to shut it off. And now that's why every night it takes the entire zip file plus that prompt and I start again. Dory again.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
do you think Claude hates me? Even though I'm
Oh.
still not running out of this thing, meaning how I've worked around everything.
Mhm.
It's a complete workaround. How much data you think's being used? The whole electricity bill going up when Neil's talking.
Right. Yeah. I can just see that electric meter just spinning like crazy. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, your take on all that.
But yeah, I love it because that's you're doing it the right way with the right tools. You're pushing it to the limits of what you have. I'm sure there's other people out there that have different limits that they're pushing their Claude to, or they're just LLMs, and that's the way you're supposed to do it. Because if you just get a simple tool and use it like Google saying, "How do I find this?" It's going to answer it, but is it it's so much better than Google, obviously, because it goes a little more in depth. But I you're using it the right way. You're using it more of, to build your business and break down
Hold me
exactly.
accountable. I told him, don't
Yeah.
give me the straights all the time. This is my goal, but I want you to be straight up with me all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you don't want it to just kiss your ass the whole time and say
Right.
how, you're great, Neil. You're doing the right thing. Everything you say is golden. But then, of course, if you go down the road and you're like, wait a second, that's not the right way. You didn't do all the research. You withheld information from me. So,
That's
yeah,
why you need
they'll
all
do
these
that.
knowledge docs. Can you do this in ChatGPT? All the documents at once and have it work through all those documents? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm sure it could. I mean, ChatGPT, I mean, it has its limitations, but it can do the same thing because, you have that within Copilot with Microsoft because, they really focus on businesses. They kind of have that locked down with, a lot of businesses have Office already. That's how they communicate through Outlook and use Word and
No, but I'm just
PowerPoint and
saying the
Excel.
documents, but I'm not even done with the whole thing else I can do. Okay. Here's something else I
Yeah.
can do. Okay. I'm not done.
Yes.
It can
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
take all your Google documents or in your Google documents, pull all that information and put it into their knowledge doc and put it all into their knowledge file. So it pulls my Google, it pulls everything out, it fixes my calendar, it does everything for me. I know Google's close. I know, but
Mhm.
I'm saying with chat, can chat do as much and take as much information as possible and digest it perfectly like Claude? That's what I ask people. That is the
Yeah.
most powerful thing Claude does. Am I saying Claude's the best in everything? But I'm going to throw it back to Pat.
No, and you're right because really with ChatGPT, OpenAI, what they're limited is that they don't have that native connection into Microsoft or into Google. I know Gemini will have its own references
No,
into
it drafts up
yeah,
now. Now,
yeah,
now, ChatGPT can draft emails and send them for me
yeah. So
on in
that's a
Google.
good
They
point.
all can do. They all have that same API. I'm talking about the ability to take so much data in once
Hmm.
and feed it. I mean, did
Hmm.
you ever think they would be able to feed 26 different things and be able to go back and forth between all of them and scan them?
No, no, I didn't. I mean, because in reality, I mean, I always think about just a person doing that and how much time that would take it. But I'm excited to see that I can create something that will do it now. And
But
I can just
when am
say,
I going to
hey,
be able to
create
make it
this.
automated and do it all the time? Ask Rich. I'm going to pull that whole thing and ask Rich how much money would that cost him
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
something like that.
I'm sure he shut down. I put him to sleep for now.
No, I mean for another point. Okay, the
Oh
last
yeah.
thing is your mileage may vary. I am the media giant, but I'm going to bring up another point. Let's talk about images. Creating
Hmm.
AI movies. I'm able to create an AI movie. I start all the way working in using Claude to take a book and make it a screenplay, then take it from a screenplay into a short screen short, and then take the descriptions of each character, put them all together as images in ChatGPT, then create every shot as a image shot, then put it into Flow and make the movie. So every tool has its place. That's the problem. I'm saying Claude's the greatest in the world, but only on certain things. I just saw Grok. Grok has done an unbelievable job in their improvements. And what about Cursor and Grok? That's my last update. What do you know what's going on there?
No, I don't.
You know Grok. You know that OpenAI. I mean, sorry, that SpaceX bought Cursor.
Okay.
You
No, I
know what
didn't know that.
Cursor is? Yeah, you remember
No.
Cursor was the big. It's kind of like where it is the create best vibe coding thing out there till Claude Code came out,
Okay.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cursor was bought by
Yep.
Grok and running through Grok. So
Hmm.
I have to see
Gotcha.
what happens there.
Right,
And I
right.
still don't believe I need a code. I think I could just have it just do its thing. Why do I have to vibe code, brother? You tell me that
Right.
logic.
Well, and I use, like I said, I've used Base 44 to create my app. Just, yeah, it's a really easy way to do it. And if I needed to make a change, I just go and say,
Okay.
make this adjustment, and it would make the adjustment for me. So
Well,
base
I'm going to
code.
show you my Claude design. I build websites,
Mhm.
and let's show you some of these websites I built. This is my client, Mina Valentine. This was built straight with Claude done
Mm, nice.
design. Yeah. This one here, I asked to create a trucking website I'm about to launch. It basically wireframed it, created a membership site, everything through Claude Design. Then I could just run it right through with Netlify. It's unbelievable.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
I had an argument with my brother this week, who's an engineer, brilliant genius engineer, and he says AI can't do anything, and I said it only could do these things. I said no, bro, it can do a lot more. Well, it cannot outcode me. I said it cannot out engineer me. I said watch, it's going to happen because the truth of the matter is, if it can be able to take that much information, at one point I'm going to become an engineer.
Hmm. Yeah.
So your last take to finish up. People need to
Yeah.
buy your book. I'm going to call you out for next week. I know it's going to be an earlier call. What are you going to accomplish next week in AI? That's going to be my call to action because I'm telling you what I expect to accomplish next week is going to blow
Hmm.
people's minds.
Yeah. And really what I plan on accomplishing is, I mean, not just so much an AI because I need to stand up my Amazon fulfillment platform so I can push my books up there, like especially with the kids' book. Carter loves cars, so people can buy that. I don't have that set up yet, so that's number one on my list. Number two on my list is to continue working on my web app or the Gen AI app, where I've got some special things. I'm moving that over to Supabase. And actually, that's an infrastructure where it uses a special SQL database. So I'm moving everything over to that because I think that is going to give me more flexibility. It's $0 a month because I'm just testing it out. And then once I get up to it, it'll be like $25 a month. A lot better because I was going to go with AWS, and AWS is going to be like 175 just for my LLM in the background. Yeah, because I was using Bedrock and I was going to
And
use
when is your
a right.
company going to start? The one that you're
Oh,
doing right now?
shortly, but with targeting underway, which is the Ghostwriter book, they're cleaning it up. I'm making them make some pretty big changes, so that hopefully is coming out in the next couple weeks. And I'm formatting the Hunger Lie, so hopefully that can come out soon because I've had that stupid cover for a long time. So yeah, but through AI, what I did was I took targeting underway and I gave it to Rich and I said, act as my developmental editor, and he came up with so much good
Yeah,
stuff. And I really liked the way he kind of structured that story better. And I just gave it over to the ghostwriter. I'm like, here you go, make these changes, and they're off and running. So I'm
I'm
going to
I'm
do the
I'm
exact
I'm
same
running
thing.
ghostwriting with AI right now, and I've been able to write
Yeah,
people's books. So
yeah,
it's coming. It's all coming.
yeah,
The only thing that's going to be the skill everyone is going to have people skills and be able to
yeah.
deal with people and sell to
Uh-huh.
people,
Yeah.
and that's
Well,
it.
and that was the thing that I kind of accused my ghostwriter on. I was like, you're repeating stuff like AI, and they actually took one of the chapters that they did and they ran it through like a comparison. They're like, see, no AI. I'm like,
That's not
yeah, but
that's not
you're
true.
repeating
But
it. You're repeating stuff.
can I show you in Claude how to do that at one point? You want to
Yeah.
learn?
Mhm.
I'm
Sure.
it's unreal. And your audiobook's going well? Yes.
Hmm.
I mean,
Audiobook's
it's
going.
out.
It's out. It's out. Yeah.
So you were
Deception
able to do
underway.
it. That you're able to accomplish it, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
All right, Deception underway and underwaybooks.com. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, that
Absolutely.
was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show, and AI office hours with Pat and Neil Haley. Take care. Hi everyone, and welcome to special simulcast, the Neil Haley Show and the Gilda Graham podcast with our host Dr. Gilda Carle. Hi, Dr. Gilda.
Neil, hi. We have all heard about a woman's wrath, right? Oh, better watch out. Well, this story takes the cake. I saw this. I won't even tell you which platform I saw it on, but it was hot. It was so hot, in fact. I'll tell you the reactions to the people. I was having my hair done and I was sitting with a bunch of women. I said, "Oh my God." And I showed this to them and they thought it was unbelievable. So, woman is married to a man, I don't know for how long. She finds out he's been cheating on her. Not a good look. He goes ahead, ignores her, disrespects her, total irresponsibility, takes women home to his home with his wife, theoretically, when she's not home. So the wife decided he's not listening to my pleas. He's not listening to me and how hurt I am. She's crying hysterically. And she said, I'll fix him. She takes crazy glue and she puts it in his lubricant. When he is having the time of his life, he ended up having the time of his life. He couldn't remove his body from inside the woman that he was cheating with. They had to call an ambulance. The ambulance, the photograph showed he is on top, stuck inside the woman, and the gurney is pulling them both, pushing them both into the hospital. Well, they're not a happy camper. He's not a happy camper now. They were able to, I guess, remove him from the woman.